Good morning, dear students. Welcome to today's information technology class. Last week, we completed the first unit from the second textbook. I also given the textbook PDF file through WhatsApp. I hope everyone have saved the PDF file in your device. Do save it and refer the text for learning these chapters. Okay. Well, students, today we are going to start with the next chapter. But before starting the chapter, uh, what did we study in the first unit? In the data entry operator textbook, the first unit, we studied about introduction to IT and ITES industry, right? So we studied what is meant by IT, information technology, and what is meant by ITES, and different applications of IT in different fields, in how they are used. We have studied everything in detail, right? So you might have understood that this information technology, it's all around us. We cannot move without this information technology, and if we do so, then we will be outdated. That means we are outdated. We are not just going along with the technology. So we should know what is information technology, in what are all the fields it is used, and how it is used, and how to effectively use this information technology. And this information technology pays job for many people. Even if you complete even a single degree, after completing your degree, if you have a good skill in computer, you can go for any BPO industry. But if you are going for a BPO industry, what you should know, that is important. So the BPO industry, already we discussed what is BPO, right? Business process outsourcing. So there are so many business process outsourcing companies are here. We are doing service in India with a good salary package. So the BPO industry has different fields. Okay, the services are in different fields. Say for example, you can say data entry job, and medical transcription, medical billing. Likewise, so many fields are there. So what type of job they are doing? It's everything is computerized. So the data entry, medical transcription, medical billing, everything is related to computer. What you have to do is the company will send you the file. You have to type it in a printed format and we have to send it to them. Okay, no need to give a hard copy. You have to send a soft copy. Okay, and you have to complete the task within a particular time. So if you want to complete the particular task within a particular time, what you should know? Yes, you should know how to operate the computer, how to operate the computer properly. And especially you should know how to type in the keyboard. You're not supposed to touch keys like A, B, C, D. If you do that, you can't get the job. Here the speed is very important. Immediately within fraction of seconds you have to do everything. That type of speeding efficiency you need while typing. Okay. So the very important thing in information technology is you should know how to handle computer, especially the keyboard. Especially the keyboard, how to type, how to make a faster typing, and how to work with the computer. That is what you need. And in the second unit, we are going to study about the same. Data entry and keyboarding skills. Data entry and keyboarding skills. That is the chapter we are going to cover now. So unit 2. Data entry and keyboarding skills. Keyboard. This is the name of the chapter. Is it clear? So mainly we are going to focus on how to use keyboard. How to use keyboard and what are the keys are there, how to use it and their functions. Got it? Okay. Well, students, as I said, in this modern era, everything is computerized. So it is important for each and every one. Okay, to know the operational skills, you should improve, enhance your operational skills. Okay, in the computer, as well as knowledge of effective typing And typing ergonomics. Typing ergonomics. Ergonomics means efficiency. Ergonomics means efficiency. Let me write it here. Efficiency. They are unavoidable. They are inevitable. Inevitable means unavoidable in this modern era. Okay. So what are the things are unavoidable? Improving your operational skills in the computer, then knowledge of efficient and effective keyboarding skills, and typing ergonomics has become unavoidable. That is inevitable in this modern era. So each and everyone should know how to operate computer and how to type on keyboard. That is what we are going to discuss now. First, we are going to study about the keyboarding skills. Let's see about keyboarding skills. So keyboard is the common text-based input device, right? So keyboard, it's an input device and it is a text-based because which has alphabets, numbers, special characters and everything, right? So function keys and everything. So it is a text-based input device. Okay. And which is similar to electronic typewriter. Have you seen electronic typewriter? Okay, so which is similar to electronic typewriter with some additional keys. Typewriter might not have a functional keys. Function keys F1, F2, F3, they won't be there in the electronic typewriter, but this computer has a function keys. Okay, and some other keys also there, page up, page down. So they are the special keys in the keyboard. And normally the keyboards have 100 or above 100 keys. Maybe 104, some keyboards has 110, 115. It depends upon the keyboard. Okay, the various keys starting from 100, we can say different types of keyboards with different keys. Fine. So, and you can see that how to operate the keyboard. Either you will single press the keys or you may just hold multiple keys together. Control plus C to copy, right? Control plus V to paste. So different types of multiple keys we press or hold it together to perform a particular activity or action. Okay, that gives us a particular command. Okay, so that is the way we operate with the keyboard. And have you heard about touch method of typing? Touch method of typing, let me write it here. What is meant by touch method of typing? So everyone is touching the keys and typing, right? So what is the difference by touching and typing, and especially calling it as touch method of typing? See, touch method of typing, it's nothing but without the sight to the keys, without looking at the keys, holding your fingers on the middle row, on the right placement, keeping all the 8 fingers, 4 from the left and 4 from the right, keeping the fingers and without looking at the keyboard, if you are able to type, then which is called touch method of typing. Touch method of typing. So whoever can able to achieve this touch method of typing, it's called touch typist. They are called as touch typist. Even I am a touch typist. Without seeing the keyboard, I'm able to type. I would be able to type whatever you give. I never look at the keyboard. Okay. So what is meant by touch method of typing? Touch method of typing means without looking at the keys, okay, the muscles memory will recollect what the keys are. Okay, the muscles memory in the fingers. Okay, so keeping the fingers and typing, it's called touch method of typing without looking at the keyboard. Okay, what makes us to understand the keys? Muscles power. Muscles memory makes us to recollect the keys or keys according to the fingers. And while typing, we may sometimes need to move the mouse, or we may have to press the enter key or a space bar, up, down, any arrows. Even though you do multiple activities, After completing the activities, the fingers should automatically get back to the right place on the keyboard. Okay, that type of practice you need. That type of practice you need. There are different sites which provide you to practice the typing skills. I'll let you know later. Okay. So did you understand what is meant by this keyboarding skills? So keyboard means commonly every keyboard has around 100 keys. Okay. So it's an input device, and we may press we may press and hold multiple keys to do a particular action or a command to do an activity. And we studied now about touch method of typing, that is without the sight of the keys, using muscles memory. Whoever can type, they are called touch typist. That is called touch method of typing. Clear? Okay. So also when you type, you may sometimes need to use your mouse, or you may use to enter key or a space bar or any other special keys. Even after using the special keys, automatically your fingers should place on the keyboard. So do you know where you have to keep your fingers while start typing in the keyboard? You have a 3 rows of letters, right? In which row you have to keep it? Yes, you have to keep it in the middle row. 4 fingers on the first 4, A, S, D, F. And right side, it is semicolon L, K, J. Semicolon L, K, J. So likewise, you have to keep it. So that is the way you have to keep your fingers. So wherever you move your fingers, immediately after that activity, it should get back to the middle row at the right place. Clear? That's good. But students, there are different types of input devices, as you know. So what are the input devices you know? Especially the first one, it's a keyboard. Then mouse is also an input device. Then touch screen is there. Using fingers you can touch and you can give the input. Voice recognition. So there are so many input devices are there, and again it's in future also they will come. New devices will come. But whatsoever will come. Okay. But the best or most adopted method of taking input is with the help of keyboard. But the most adopted method of taking input to the computer is using keyboard. Okay. So now we are going to study about different types of keys in the keyboard. Different types of keys in the keyboard. That is what the next topic we are going to cover. So when I say keyboard and the keys, which key comes to your mind first? That's good. Alphabets, right? Alphabets A to Z. What else comes? Of course, its next one is numbers. 0 to 9 and combination of any numbers you can type. So the first thing which comes in your mind is alphabets and numbers. So how can we call together as alphanumeric? Alphanumeric keys. Okay. So the very first type of key is alphanumeric. So what does this alphanumeric keys contain? It contains the alphabets A to Z and the numbers 0 to 9. Okay. Alphabets A to Z, uppercase, lowercase both. Okay. Then numbers 0 to 9, which is called alphanumeric keys. The second one, it's called punctuation keys. The second one, it's called punctuation keys. So as you are doing 9th standard, you know what is meant by punctuation. In English, you might have studied, right? So full stop, comma, semicolon, colon, double quotation. Everything comes under punctuation. Punctuation. Also, the plus symbol, plus, minus, multiplication, division, equal to, dollar, ampersand, everything comes under this punctuation. So the second set of keys, we call it as punctuation keys, which includes all the punctuations like a full stop, comma, semicolon, colon, plus, minus, asterisk, division, equal to, etc., etc. All these symbols comes as a punctuation keys. Okay. The next one it's called alt key. The next one it's called alt key. Alt means it's a short form of alternate. It's a short form of alternate. It's a second control key. It's a second control key. It is called second control key. Clear? Next one, arrow keys. So do you know how many arrows are there? Yes, 4 arrow keys are there. Okay, you can keep your mouse pointer wherever you need. You can use the arrow keys. We can call it as a mouse pointer or insertion point. You can call it as mouse pointer or insertion point. Okay, so arrow keys. What are the arrow keys? Up arrow, down arrow, right, left. See, I am writing only the shortcuts. You have to write it in detail. If the question comes in your exam, you have to give a descriptive answer. Okay, so these are the arrow keys. 4 arrow keys. We can use it to move the cursor or insertion point. We can call it as to upward direction or downward, towards left or towards right. Clear? Okay. The next one it's called shift or alt key. See, the shift key especially used to select multiple objects which are continuous. To select multiple objects. Okay. To keep the cursor in more than one position, we are using this shift key. Clear? Okay. The next one is a backspace key. In the keyboard, you might have seen backspace key. You would be normally using the backspace key to delete the character which are left to the mouse. Which are left to the mouse. Next one is backspace key. Backspace key. It is used to delete a character just before, I mean left to the mouse pointer. Used to delete just left to the mouse pointer. We always use it, right? So we will be keep typing. If we made any mistake on the current position, we use a backspace key. As many times as you press, as many characters towards the left side will be deleted. Got it? That is the use of backspace key, to delete the characters which are left to the mouse pointer or cursor. Clear? Okay. The next key it's called caps lock key. The next one is called caps lock. We can say that it's a toggle key. It is a toggle. Do you know what is meant by toggle? Toggle means shifting. So if you press once, you will get a capital letters, uppercase letters. Again, if you press, it will become a lowercase letters, small letters. So once again you press from smaller lowercase letters to uppercase letters. So toggle key, we call it as caps lock key as a toggle key because toggle means shifting from uppercase to lowercase and then lowercase to uppercase. It's called toggling. Okay, so we call it as a toggle key. We use this key to write it in uppercase or in lowercase letters. Fine. Well, next one it's called control key. Next one it's called control key, and we use this control key along with other conjunctions. As I said, control plus C. What is a command called control plus C? To copy something, copy a text or an image or anything, we use slide or anything, we use control C. So control, it's always used with the conjunction. With the conjunction, that means the other keys, with the other keys. Used with other keys to perform a particular activity. Okay, so it depends also, every key has a different meaning, depends upon different applications. Depends upon different applications which differs. Okay, So that is called control key. Eighth one is called control key. So always it is used with other keys, conjunction with other keys. So when we use the key along with the letters, it performs a particular activity. Okay. So for example, control plus Z. What is the use of control Z? It is used to undo the activity. Undo the activity. Clear? Okay. The next one is delete key. Next one it's called delete key, which deletes the character at the current position. Which deletes the character at the current position or the selected object. Before using the select key, if you just select a particular object, okay, maybe a table or a picture or any image, then that particular selected object will be deleted. Otherwise, wherever the cursor, the current position of a cursor, that particular letter or the selected word will be deleted. That is the use of this delete key, and also this differs from one application to another application. Clear? Okay. The next key it's called enter key or carriage return. Enter key or carriage return. So enter key. So you know about enter key, right? When do we press the enter key? If we want to begin a new line, start typing in a new line, we use the enter key. Both has the same meaning, okay? Carriage return or enter key. To start a new paragraph or to start a new line, typing in a new line, we use this enter key. Clear? Okay. So we to start in a new line, we use this enter key. Okay, fine. So the next one is called escape key. Next one is called escape key. In short, we write it as ESC. So what is the purpose of escape? What is meant by escaping? If you have done something wrong to a particular person, and if you see that person, what you will do? You will escape from that person, right? So similarly, unknowingly, if you press anything on a computer and if there is any pop-up comes, and if you do not want that, just press the escape key, which will pass the control and which will remove that particular pop-up from the screen. Okay, so that is called escape key. Then function keys. Then next one is called function keys. There are different types of function keys starting from F1 to F12. Each has a different function. That also depends upon the software or application program which you are using. Got it? Okay. So these are the keys in the keyboard. These are the types of keys in the keyboard. Shall we recollect one more time? So what are the types of keys in the keyboard? First one, alphanumeric keys, which consist of alphabets A to Z and numbers starting from 0 to 9. Then punctuation keys. Which keys are called as punctuation keys? Stop, full stop, comma, semicolon, colon, then mathematical operators, okay, then dollar, ampersand. These are the things called as punctuation keys. Next one, alt key. Alt, it's a control, like a second control key. Then arrow keys. There are 4 types of arrows. To bring your cursor to the particular place, you can use these arrow keys. Okay. Next one, shift key. So shift means to select multiple objects. To keep the cursor in multiple positions, you are using shift key. Then backspace. So when we click on the backspace, one character towards the left side, left of the mouse pointer, cursor will be deleted. As many times as you press, as many keys will be deleted. Text will be deleted. Then caps lock, we call it as a toggle key because which shift between uppercase to lowercase and lowercase to uppercase. Then control key, which always comes work with the other keys, conjunction with other keys. So which has a particular meaning, and depends upon the program, the meaning changes. Okay. Then next one, it's a delete key. So to delete a thing which is just next to the cursor or the selected object, we are using the delete key. The next one, enter key or carriage return. To start a new paragraph or to start a new line, we are using this enter key. Then escape to get rid of something. To delete something which is on the screen, we are using escape key. Then function keys, there are 12 function keys starting from F1 to F12 that differ, their meanings differ from one application to another application which you are running on your computer. Is it clear? So these are the different types of keys you should know. So before learning how to type, okay, just making a becoming a touch typist, you should be familiar with all the keys on the keyboard and the placement. Okay, the placement on the keyboard also you should be familiar with that. Then only you can become a touch typist. Got it? Good. Well, students, we now studied about types of keys, right? So far we have covered the importance of keyboarding skill. How does it is important when you go for a job, okay? You should have a speed typing. Otherwise, you cannot perform well in your job. So for that, you should know how to do a speed typing. When you practice, gradually the speed will increase, and normally at the beginning you may have a 60 words per minute you may type, and the level may increase when you practice. Fine? Okay. So we studied about the keyboard. It's one of the input device. Okay. Most adopted method of input it's using keyboard only, and we studied about different types of keys, and also we studied about what is meant by touch method of typing. Do you remember what is meant by touch method of typing? Without the sight into the keys, without looking into the keys, using the muscles memory, who were able to type it, which is called type method of typing, touch method of typing, or the people, those who are doing that are called as touch typist. Clear? Okay. Now, tell me, we studied about the types of keys. When we press a particular key, what happens? That is my next question. Does anybody know the answer? We are just holding the key, but immediately we are getting that particular letter on the monitor, right? So what happens in between? In a fraction of seconds, something happens between the keyboard to the monitor, CPU, and CPU to the monitor, right? So what happens? See, when you press any key on the keyboard, the electrical signals are formed. The electrical signals are formed or framed, we can call it as anything. So they are creating scan code. Every key on the keyboard has a scan code. Okay. So the scan code, it passes through the keyboard cable. So whatever the cable you have connected, through that cable, the scan code it passes through. But the scan code, it's not getting passes as it is getting converted into a binary number. That is zeros and ones, and gets passed through the cables. Okay, and which reaches the microcontroller in the CPU, and again which is getting transmitted into the original key what it represents, and which is again come back to the monitor. This is a way when you press the key is working. Is it clear? Okay, let me repeat it. When you press any key on the keyboard, okay, the electrical signals are formed. Okay, electrical pulses are passing through, which creates a scan code for that particular key. The scan code is already there for each and every key. That particular scan code will be converted into binary digits. Binary digits, that is binary numbers, and passes through the cable to the CPU. In the CPU, which goes to microcontroller. And from there, which is again transmitted to the respective key, and it is again passes through the monitor. And we are getting the right display on the monitor. Everything happens in a fraction of seconds. Because when you press the key, immediately you can see the letter or whatever the keys you press, you can see the respective actions on the monitor. right? So things will happen in a fraction of seconds. Clear? So this is what the keyboard works. So if anybody asks you how does a key works on the keyboard, you should be able to explain it. Okay, that's good. Now let's see the next topic. The next one is called numeric number pad, numeric keys. So do you know what are the numeric keys? Of course, it is 0 to 9, right? So numeric means numbers. So in the keyboard, you can see two set of numeric keys. One at the top row, you can see horizontal line, you can see. Another one at the right side, one keys are there, right? Numeric keys are there, number pad, which is something like a calculator. Have you seen? Okay, let me get into that chapter and I'll show you the picture, okay? Well, students, let's see the next type of keys, okay, in the keyboard. In the keyboard, we have already seen 12 types of keys in the keyboard. Now, the next one comes here, numeric keypad. Numeric keypad. So, do you see the numeric keypad in the monitor, right, on the screen? Okay, this is called numeric keypad, which is situated at the right side of the keyboard. And you can see num lock. Okay, and when you press the num lock, you can see here num lock light is there, right, which will light up. Again, when you press, it will switch it off. So there are two modes we can work on it. Num lock has two modes, okay, on mode and off mode. We will study about that. And what is this num lock contains? Numeric keypad contains. This numeric keypad contains numbers starting from 0 to 9. 1, 2, 3 up to 9. Then you can see plus, addition symbol, subtraction, multiplication, division. Also you can see enter key. Also you can see enter key, delete key, and then insert key. So these are the keys in the numeric keypad. You can type numbers and you can make use of these symbols, right? And I told you this numeric keypad works on two modes. Let me write it here. Two modes. So what are the mode? On mode, off mode. So when it is on on mode, when you press the num lock key, you can see the light on the num lock icon. So when it is on mode, if you press number 1, you will get number 1 on the screen. 2, you will get the exact number on the screen. Okay. And if you put it in off mode, once again, if you toggle into off mode, okay, you can't see the light blinking over here. Okay. Then what happens when you press the numbers? See, when you press number 8, which goes to page up. Okay. When you press number 6, which moves to the left side. So here, right side, home, page up, end of the page, end of the line, page on. So these are the ways it works. So on mode and off mode. On in the sense only you will get a numbers on the keypad. Off mode means which will give you the navigation keys like a left, right, up, down, all the navigation keys. Clear? So this is all about numeric key. Let's see the next type of keys on the keyboard, which is called home keys. Which are called home keys. See, you can see the keyboard over here. Do you see the keyboard here? So in this keyboard, you can see the alphabets in 3 rows. So you can see QWERTY, U, I, O, P is on the first line. And then in the middle, A, S, D, F, G, H, J, it goes on. Then next, another line which contains alphabets. So the alphabets are displayed in 3 rows, right? So home keys in the sense, the place where you have to keep your fingers when you start typing. When you typing on the keyboard, where you have to keep your fingers. So you have to keep it in the middle row. As I said before, you have to keep it in the middle row. See, you can see 4 fingers. First 4 fingers are on 4 letters. So they are A, S, D, F. So which hand is there? The left hand. The left hand goes to A, S, D, F. So which is the home key for left hand? A, S, D, F. And right hand. So in the right hand, you can see semicolon, L, K and J. So these are the letters or these letters are home key for the right hand. Is it clear? So while typing, you may move to the keys which are on the top row or at the bottom of the row. Wherever you move, after typing, again you have to get back to the middle row only. Okay, you can just jump the fingers to type the keys up or down. After just pressing the keys, get back to the original place. Got it? So that is called home keys. Now guide key. Let's see what is meant by guide key. So as I said, you started typing something. So when you type a paragraph, you have to move your fingers up or down, right? So sometimes after moving up or down, you may just keep your fingers wrongly on a different keys, right? So how to avoid it? So in order to avoid it, the guide keys will help you. The guide keys will help you. See, if you look at the fourth letter, A, S, D, F, this fourth letter and here semicolon L, K, J, this J, letter J, F and J, which has a visible line, tangible line popping up on the keys. So when you keep the fingers, you can feel that sensation on the lines, of the lines. So when you keep the finger, the fourth finger should be on F and J. So you can just touch and feel the line on the keys. So if you feel the line on these fingers, that means you are keeping your fingers correctly. If you are not feeling that sensation, that means you have kept your fingers wrongly. That's the reason those two keys are called as guide keys. So what is meant by guide key? Guide key has a tangible line on the keys to make you understand that your fingers are in the right position. Okay, so that they are called as guide keys. Let's see the next one. Now we are going to see how to type and delete the text. So as you know how to type it, right? You just open a document, maybe Word document or whatever application you need. Keep your fingers and start typing it. When you press the letters, that will come on the document. And if you want to delete, either you can use a backspace or delete key. Backspace means which deletes the character just left to the mouse pointer. Delete means which deletes the current position. Wherever the cursor is there, the current position, whatever it says, that will be deleted. Clear? Okay, these are the easy things, but you should be able to write it, okay? Then next one, typing capital letters. So to type a capital letters, you have to switch on the caps lock. Okay, then start typing. You can see the letters will be in capital letter. When you press the caps lock key, you can see the light pop-ups at the right side of the keyboard. Top right of the keyboard, you can see caps lock. You can see the light, it's popping up. Okay, and if you want to get back to the lowercase letters, again press the caps lock key. Then typing symbols. So if you take a symbols, most of the symbols, it will be at the top of any letters or any numbers, right? So how to get those symbols? As you all familiar with, you have to hold down the shift key and press that particular number. Whatever its symbol above that number, that will be displayed on the screen. That is the way we type symbols. Okay. Then typing sentences or paragraphs. So if you want to type a sentence, what you have to do? So if it's a sentence which consists of multiple words, so between each word you have to use a space. Otherwise, it won't be easy to read what you have written. So in order to leave a space, which key you use it? That's good. Space bar, you have to use it. Okay, fine. Next one. Creating new lines and spaces between paragraphs. So as I said before, to create a new line or to create a new paragraph or to start a text in a new line, you have to press the enter key. And you can see the cursor, it's flashing on the screen. Okay. Then guide for typing. So what is meant by guide for typing? How do you know that where you are typing? You can see the cursor, wherever the cursor is blinking, that means you are going to type it on that place. If you want to move the cursor, what you will do? Either you will press the enter key to the place where you need, or you can use a mouse to click on the place where you want to type the text. So especially this cursor key, which helps you to typing. Also the arrow keys, okay. So 4 arrow keys are in the keyboard. Those arrow keys, using the arrow keys, you can move from one place to another place, and wherever you want to start typing, keep the cursor on that place using the arrow keys. So clear for everyone? That's good. So we have studied about types of keys and how to type and delete the text, how to use capital letters, how to use symbols, how to make a paragraphs. Everything we have seen. Is it clear for everyone? That's good. So students, that's all for today. In the next class, we are going to study more about pointing devices and also about keyboard skills. Got it? So today itself, all of you just read the text which I sent it to you. So while listening, you may think that it is easy to learn and all the concepts you know. But while writing, you people are not getting points to write. Okay? So you should be able to write it as a paragraph. Whatever question it's asked, you should be able to describe the answer. I need elaborated answer for all the questions. You people are giving only the short answers. When you give a short answers, I will give a mark in short. I mean, I will reduce the marks. Got it? Okay, students, read the chapter, and if you have any doubt, you can just call me or ping me on my number. Thank you, students. Have a great day.